Hey, I'm John Crutchfield. I am the host of the Grab the Map podcast, both on wherever you listen to podcasts and on YouTube. I am excited to talk to you today, as usual. It's been a very interesting few weeks. Depending on what time you're listening to this, it might be an interesting few weeks for you or not. But I like to get on here and talk about all things rental real estate. I like to talk about flipping houses and wholesaling and, getting checks and building wealth, all of those things that you listen to this podcast for. If you like this podcast, right, and if you like seeing these, if you could click that like button or subscribe button on wherever you're watching this, it just goes to show me that there is a following that makes these worth doing. I like adding value to people, and that's what I'm doing when I do these podcasts. So please hit the like button or subscribe button, and maybe I'll shout you out on the next podcast. Today, what we want to talk about, let's just do a little improvisation today. Let's talk about the cost of growing a business. All right, let's talk about the cost of growing a business. I meet people all the time, and I'm meeting more and more people as this business grows. I'm meeting more and more people that are trying to get started or trying to grow their real estate businesses. I'm doing some one-on-one coaching, some mentoring, and what gets you into this business is the hope. What gets you into this business is the dream of getting rich or building a huge business where you're making all this money and you have fancy houses and beautiful cars. What gets you into this business is the stuff, the materialism, maybe the popularity gets you into this business. Maybe you get into this business for the legacy you want to leave to your kids, right? Or you want to have something to pass on when you die. There's all kinds of reasons you get into this business, and real estate has changed my life. Because of real estate, I don't have to have a job if I don't want a job. I don't have to listen to a boss appreciate me or not appreciate me. I get up at the time of day I want to get up, and I stop working at the time of day that I want to stop working. All of those things are true, and they're worth it. But there is a cost to doing this business the right way. If you're going to dibble and dabble in it, then that's cool. But I'm not a dibble and dabbler, and most of my students are not dibbling and dabbling. Most of my students are trying to get into real estate so that they can free themselves from a full-time job, or free themselves from a job that they don't like, or free themselves from financial insecurity. And they know that my thing that I'm going to push is that you got to work harder than everybody else. Okay. So there's a cost to that. All right. And we're going to talk about some of those costs that I've had personally, but I want you to think about whether you're willing to pay these costs, because you don't always need to look at what other people have and think that you want it. There's some people who see the videos I make or the houses that I'm working on, or imagine the money that I'm making, which they don't know if I'm making money or not. I guess I wouldn't be doing it if I wasn't. But you see that, or you see your favorite investor making money, and you don't know the cost to what they're doing. It's going to cost you some family time. Let's talk about that. Are you okay with spending less time with your kids or less time with your wife, your significant other? Are you okay with spending less time with people that you love? Are you okay with having to be on the road for weeks at a time, or having to be on the road longer than you are right now? Because there's a good chance that going all in the real estate business will have you away from those people more than you're with them right now. It's been a cost for me, and it's a balance that I try to firm up. And some years have been better than other years. Some days and weeks have been better than other weeks, but it's a cost. And I want you to consider that cost. It's going to cost you some anxiety. Okay. When I hit the do not disturb button when I'm recording these podcasts, I know that when I pick up my phone, there's going to be messages, right, on the screen when I put it down. There's never going to be a time where I pick up my phone with the number of rental properties that I have, or with the number of flip projects that I have going on, that there's not somebody trying to get my attention. There's never going to be a time where I can just go to sleep and take a nap and not wake up to see what I need to get done when I wake up. I used to have a job where I could literally just walk away and the job was over and the end of the day, and it was over. That freedom is gone because I have a big business. Now I'm working towards a freedom, and I have team members that are helping me. They're doing a great job. Okay. But I want to talk about that cost of that time, right? The cost of that time that you lose. Okay. The cost of the anxiety from running a business. It's real. Are you ready to pay that cost? All right. Let's talk about the cost of judgment. Okay. There's a lot of people that are going to look at what you're doing and have something to say about it. They're going to think that you're doing it wrong, or you're doing it too right, or you're not doing it big enough, or you're doing it too small. All of their attitudes and critiques that come your way through social media or word of mouth or he say, she say becomes a cost of this business. There'll be people who think that they want what you have. They'll envy you, and there'll be people that you think, right, should be doing better. There's a cost to this business, and there's a cost of judgment, because not only will you be judged by others, but you will start to judge other people. And you'll have to reflect on that and make changes to yourself as you become more and more successful. The cost of judgment. Okay. Have you considered that? Are you ready to take on the he say, she say, or the naysayers, or the people that are pumping you up just so they can see you fall? Right? It's a cost. There's a cost of this business of money. Okay. Sometimes you are going to lose money. There'll be things that you thought were home runs that you thought would work well that fall on their face. There's a cost to this business. You'll lose some money, maybe consistently, right? Some of you are working jobs and you get paid like clockwork every Friday or every other Friday or twice a month or once a month. And you will lose. You will lose. That's a tenant texting me right now about late rent. Okay. Anyways, you'll lose. You'll lose that consistency of a paycheck. Okay. You'll lose that consistency of the weekly check or the monthly check or the every time check, because sometimes you'll get a check and it won't be as big as you thought. Sometimes you'll get checks that are big. I like those. But sometimes you'll get checks that are small. Sometimes the checks will be spaced out and they'll be months or years at a time with no money. And then 3 years later, you might get a 6-figure check or 7-figure check. Can you wait that long? Can you work for free sometimes? Can you help some people and provide value for some people when you have no idea where the money's going to come from? That's this business. That's the mindset of this business. You see, when I see people go out here and they just hit people, and they never think about the long-term consequences, I know they won't be around long. Those people that are around a long time plant seeds, and they plant seeds, and they plant seeds. And one day they realize the fruit of the seeds that they planted. Which person are you going to be? There's a cost of doing this business. I've gained weight since I started doing all of this, probably about 6 years of weight. It's because I didn't really focus on my health, didn't focus on eating healthy foods and working out and getting lots of exercise. And it's one of my greatest regrets. I'm working on it now. Been eating better, been working out, exercising, and I'm going to be looking good by this time next year. Working on it every day. Okay. But that's a cost that I paid for focusing on real estate. Okay. Maybe you lose some professional relationships in your career. I work in education. I'm a school teacher, a professor, a principal of a school, right? There's some people who are like, man, this dude's out here flipping houses and doing rental houses. He's a landlord. Instead of being a superintendent of schools, or instead of being a principal. What happened to that guy? It's a cost. It's a cost of jumping all in to something you're passionate about and something you believe in, something that's financially beneficial to your family, and something where you can help a lot of other people change their family tree. I think that's enough for today. The cost of growing a business. Are you willing to pay those costs? Are you willing to jump all in and pay the cost of doing real estate? Because if you are, Grab the Map can help you get started. I answer every single email that goes to grabthemap@gmail.com. I love when people go to my website at grabthemapllc.com. Engage with us. Join our Facebook page. Listen to some more podcasts. Change your family tree, but consider the cost. Hey, this is where we don't just look at it. We grab the map.